Hey, what's up? Alistair Cunningham here, and on this week's show, I've got Sean. And Sean came to me at the start of the year with 2 properties, and now he has 9, and it's absolutely changing everything about what he does. So I want you to hear from Sean directly what's happened for him in 2022, because you know you can be just a few months away from achieving what Sean's achieved. So Sean, thank you for coming on board. Thank you for being here. Just introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, what you do, where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm Sean Griffiths. I've got a company called Amazing Spaces Relocations. I have SA units myself, and I've also started taking on management of some. My background is in construction, so I'm a project manager by trade.
Yeah.
But obviously I came to yourself just to sort of grow myself personally.
Yeah.
And
well, so talk to me about, like, you're a civil engineer.
Yeah.
You work in the construction. What's that like? Because I've had a few people from that background come to me. Like Tom Cook, he was in the same
QS,
industry. Yeah, he was a QS in the same industry. Yeah. So what's that like? Because I've got a lot of people asking me for help so they can leave that industry. So what's it really like?
Yeah, it's tough. Like it's a great job. Like it pays really well, but like stress is high. Deadlines are like, you constantly working for a deadline, so like your life just constantly goes.
You live up. Where do you live? You live in Manchester way, don't you?
Live near Blackpool now. Yeah.
Blackpool, but you were working right down south, weren't you?
Yeah,
when we
Somerset.
met?
Yeah, so
that's like proper, like 6-7 hours away.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the other part of it. A lot of people in the construction industry have to go where the job is.
Yeah, you go where the work is. So
Yeah.
you're constantly travelling. You're away from home constantly.
All week. Yeah.
And you've just obviously you've just got a newborn baby.
Yep.
So what you need now is time. What you need now is that freedom to actually be at home with the mum and your baby and things like that. How's baby? All good?
Yep.
Sorry, I don't actually know your baby's name.
Evie.
Evie.
She was born on the
beautiful
23rd,
name.
so Evie. Yeah.
2 weeks old.
2 weeks today old. Yeah.
So just born before Christmas. That must have been hectic.
Yeah, literally managed to get out of the hospital on Christmas Eve. Like,
what was like Christmas Day, and like was Evie nice and quiet for the first few days, or was
she's been brilliant. She's just slept the whole time. Like,
oh, really? Wow. Okay,
she only wakes for nappy changes and bottles. So
okay, yeah, just really that's not going to last. That ain't going to last, right? Give it a few months. Evie will soon let you know she's around. All right, good. So now what you need is time so you can be at home. Yeah. And I know you're on leave with work at the minute from the paternity, yeah. But I know you do have to go back for a little while. So you work in the construction, so you're constantly traveling around, always away in hotels. What's that like from a relationship point of view? It's all great to begin with. Like, I've been there, I've done this, right? So when you're out and you're working away from home, the first couple of months it's exciting, it's good, you get away, you're staying away, but the novelty soon wears off. Was that the same for you?
Yeah, so I've always travelled for work, which has been great as when I was single and younger, going out and stuff, like, because you get to see all the different cities, meet different people. But when you obviously settle down, got a wife now, it's not what you want at all. So I was living in Wales, and I chose that job because it was like an hour and a half drive. So I was driving back twice a week to see it. And now that we moved back home to be closer to her parents, I was away literally all week, and it is tiresome on me and on her as well. It's not fair.
It's not fair on her as well. And I've had this before. I was the same when I first got involved in property. I was like 5-6 days a week traveling. And in hotels, and it does have an effect on relationships, which it is sad, but it's true. So the fact that you've now got these properties, you came to me with 2 properties in January of, when did you get involved in the training?
June, 6 months.
Oh, was it June?
June, yeah. So.
It was actually, because I remember we were speaking, when we were filming in Birmingham at the time. I remember we were speaking in Ashley's office. It was June time, yeah. So it was June time, you had 2 properties. So from June to December, you managed to acquire another 8 properties, but you've given 1 back, so you've now got net 7 properties. How did that happen? Like, what happened there? Where was the sudden growth? Because that's a sudden growth.
Yeah, so obviously just being in the environment, in like around everyone, people are doing it. Not a lot of people want to manage them, I found, because of the hassle. So people are always looking for management. People had seen how I was managing mine, and just came to me and asked me if I could manage there. So I took on a few management ones, and then that allowed me to get a couple more myself as well.
Yeah, so you're taking on properties for yourself, but you're the contract holder, and you've now got the full income from that, and you've also got other properties that you're managing. But one thing that I really like about you is you followed my systemization to the T. Like, you literally systemized everything.
Yeah,
like,
that's part of what we do for work. Like, I'm a project manager, so I outsource everything. As long as I can see that everyone's doing everything and everything's turning, that's my job normally. So
how did you go about systemizing this? Because I'm sure there's many people watching this that run service accommodation. You're probably pulling your hair out with it, getting the phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning asking for Wi-Fi passwords, or I've locked myself out, all that sort of stuff. So how have you gone about systemizing your SA business?
So got a really good channel manager, that's the first thing.
Do you mind sharing which one you use?
Yeah, so I use Evu. Not a lot of people that I know use Evu, but it is really good. It's a little bit more expensive than like a Vivo and things like that.
Yeah.
But it gives you like an all-round package. So the person that set it up was somebody that had loads of essays and they couldn't find the right platform.
Yeah,
so
well,
they created their own. So it's literally got everything.
See, that's brilliant. That is. You know, one thing I learnt when I went to Vietnam. I spent a lot of time in Vietnam, and out there, my business partner out there is Mr. Vasco. Mr. Vasco that's him. That's exactly what he would do.
Yeah.
He can't find a product to fix this what he needs. Okay, I'll just build it myself.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. That's how he started. Is he does? You'll know what the real name of them are called. Big concrete tubes you put underground for drainage.
Concrete pipes.
Concrete pipes. And he was building his company were building a massive factory for Panasonic back in the day. Okay.
Yeah.
And they needed concrete pipes under the ground.
Of course.
They couldn't get any. There was no supply in Vietnam, and they had to wait months and months and months. So what he done was he actually he started inquiring about how you make these things, and then he found a company in Germany that sold the equipment to make them. So he spent £400,000, $400,000, and he imported one machine so he could make the pipes for this particular job. Yeah. Now he's the biggest supplier of concrete pipes in Vietnam. It's just crazy. Yeah. It's nuts. So a business came from trying to find a solution for a problem that he had, and that's awesome what you've done. Yeah, of course it is. Exactly. So he started this platform which really helped you systemize your business. Yeah. And how else? What else have you done to systemize?
So obviously cleaners. I was amazed to find that some people clean their own essays. I don't know how they manage that.
Yeah, I found that as well. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, no way was I doing that. So that was another thing. Getting the maintenance people as well. You get a network of maintenance people.
Yeah.
Because you just need them on hand. And then as I grew a bit more, I was still working at the time. I needed somebody whilst I was working, so I had a automatic, well not an automatic, but a phone answering service. I set that up from the start.
Okay, like a VA type service thing.
Yeah, so if anyone did call, I'd get a message and then I can just phone them back when I wanted.
Yeah, when it suits you.
Yeah, so that helped me when I was in meetings and things like that.
Yeah.
And then I eventually moved on and got a VA. So somebody in the Philippines. She's brilliant. She works for me now part-time. So she does 4 hours, 7 days a week. Awesome. And she manages all the customer interface really.
That's like it's perfect systemization, because you're contracted for your current employment because it's a very well paid job and it's a very well paid contract, so you've got to fulfill that contract. Yeah. And you're a man of your word. You're going to do that. You're not going to just abandon them because you can, because you never burn bridges. Okay, so you're going to do that, and that's going to how long is that going to tie you up for?
What's that? Sorry,
your current employment.
Yeah, so I've got to go back in September at the minute, so I'll get paternity till then, and I've got to do at least 6 months to fulfil my contract. So
so you're going to be there for another 12 to 18 months pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the plan is obviously you're going to do that because that's a commitment you made. We honour our commitments. But the great thing being, because your business is systemised, it's taken along in the background, bringing that additional income in. Yeah. So it's building a pot of cash so you can invest. Now, I know you're a little bit disappointed because you've just had a property fall through that you were buying for your personal home.
Yes, big disappointment. Yeah, so one of our biggest goals was just to build a house, so we did everything, had all the finance in place. Took us literally 18 months to get this planning changed. Yeah. And then with all the changes that's happened in the economy, the lending criteria has changed, and they stripped about 150 grand from our bill budget. Yeah. And the interest rate that they were going to charge us near enough doubled. So like our monthly payments. So it's been really tough recently.
I know you've had a tough few months with dealing with this, but look, I say, all the time. You got to celebrate all wins, but you got to discipline disappointment.
Yeah.
Because I honestly believe things happen for a reason. So we had a one-to-one just after this happened, and I was trying to make you see that actually, do you know what, this is probably for the best.
Yeah.
And actually, your dream house is probably just around the corner. You've just not seen it yet.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's so easy to get wrapped up in the current situation that you're in that you can't see the woods for the trees, so to speak. And I've been there many times myself. So the goal is, what is the goal? What is the goal for 2023?
So the goal is to basically replace my income, which is a really good income, I must admit. So it's tough to replace it.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely doable. So I've just done my business plan for the year. I've got the growth strategy that I want, how many units I want, what I want to do. So I'll be basically replacing half my income by the middle of the year is the plan, and then by the end of the year to make basically my full income.
Where do you want to be at the end of this year? End of 2023, where do you want to be making per month? How much do you want to be making per month?
So I want to be able to take in my bank account £6,000 a month.
Okay, so taking 72 grand a year out of your business, which is very doable, very doable. I know currently you're taking about, how much are you taking about now? About 3,000, was it?
It's doing about 3,000, but I'm reinvesting that at the minute, putting that into units.
Yeah, so you're making about 3k at the minute from the management side of things and from the properties you've got, and then what you're going to do at the end of the year, you're going to hoping to get 6k in your personal bank account, which is a very good a great goal. And the thing is, your business will grow exponentially once you're able to get out your job. Your business will grow exponentially, because you've got all that additional time that you can focus on finding more units and growing the business. So what's been the biggest sort of, like, we've been working together only for 6 months. What's been the biggest learning, the biggest goal, the biggest thing you've achieved from, or you've gained from joining our training?
Network, definitely, I think. I've got involved with a lot of people that I probably wouldn't naturally get involved with.
Yeah.
Just not from anything, but you typically go to people that you kind of relate to, don't you? Whereas some of the people that I speak to and I'm actually good friends with now, I probably wouldn't have thought to say hello at all.
Who are you working with from the training, from the academy?
So Ellen.
Yeah,
I manage some of her properties.
Yeah.
I'm really good friends now with Amelia.
Oh yeah, Amelia Buick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. Amelia Buick, I'll get her on the show because I've been training Amelia now for a couple of years, and she's really dominating service accommodation and rent-to-rent space. And
we get on personally, but then there's also the business aspect of it as well that she can help out with, and that's like she's got a business now sourcing VAs.
Yes.
So that's where I got my VA from.
Oh, was
as
it?
well.
Awesome.
So, so she helps with that.
Amelia's, she's a little bit like, very much like me. She's very to the point. This is it. There's no messing around.
Which I love, because in construction as well, that's what people are like. You know,
I absolutely love it.
Kind of people.
It's great because in business you need that directness, and there's so many people that are so like, they pussyfoot around, they beat around the bush forever, and they get nowhere. I work with people to make them direct. What's the question? That's what I say to them. Because I'll ask somebody a question and they'll waffle on for 10 minutes. I'm like, time out. What's the question? Right, get to the point. Because I've only got time for this rubbish. All right, okay, so big goals for 2023. Yep. What you've got, how many months before you have to go back to work?
September, so I've got 9 months.
Oh wow, you've got quite a bit of time then to do what you want to do. So what's the goal for the next next 3 months? By March, what do you want to have achieved?
So I'm looking to get 1 unit myself per month now.
Yeah, 1 a month.
1 a month for myself, and then I'm looking to help facilitate that as well, because I've actually noticed I've got so much time on my hands now. Even with the new baby, but she's sleeping at the minute, so it's fine. And I'm actually in a period now where like I'm used to managing my own time, but I'm like finding these properties isn't going to fulfill that time.
Yeah, it's not.
So
it's not.
I'm looking at what else I can top that up with. So I'm going to be getting, if I'm looking for deals myself, I was going to get some, probably hopefully to sell a couple of deals.
Source some deals on, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
What I was going to do, yeah.
The thing is that'll build the bank balance quite quickly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, guys, right? And this happens to it's a problem that everyone gets. They suddenly start getting passive income through the systemization of your business. And now it's like, well, what the heck do I do with my time?
Yeah.
And it really is that problem. So you end up doing things you don't need to do, or you end up just wasting time and things like that because you've got so much time on your hands. And it's a problem that many people watching this will be like, that's not going to be a problem for me. It will be, trust me.
It is.
Everyone I know that I've helped become sort of financially secure, financially able to then have time, they all have the same issue. And it's all, what do I do with my time? And what happens is if they're not structured in what they do, they slip into getting out of bed whenever they want to get out of bed. And
so I had, running up to Christmas, I was like that, exactly. I was getting out of bed late and I was like, I'll just start after Christmas. I got the baby coming in and all the rest of it. I'll get to sleep in while I can, but it becomes a pattern and you've really got to break it. So I've started going to the gym now. I've booked classes at 6:30 in the morning to make sure I'm there.
To get yourself there.
So I do the morning feeds, about 5 o'clock, quick shower and then off to the gym, just so that I'm up and then I'm away then and I've still got my full day.
What advice would you give to people watching this? Because obviously I get a lot of people come to me and they're like, Alistair, I work full time. How can I possibly do this? And I always say to them, look, it's not about the time, it's about how much you want it. So if you want it that much, you'll find the time, because you had a wife, you were working the opposite end of the country, you had all sorts going on in your life. You've now got a newborn baby, but you're still making this happen.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're on paternity leave, but you weren't on paternity leave until recently, and you were still making it happen.
Yeah,
so what advice would you give to people watching this?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think looking back, because I was still working and I wanted it bad enough to get out of the work, I actually worked harder when I was in work.
Yeah.
So construction is long hours, so I was literally on site, so travelling as well, like you're getting up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I'd be on site at 6 and I wouldn't get home till 7, and then I was doing like the SA job, which is like another 3-4 hours, so I wasn't going back to bed till about 11, so it definitely is doable if you want it bad enough, like that you make time. I mean, it wasn't fun doing a 12-hour shift or whatever it was.
No, it's not.
And then coming back and doing 4 hours on the business, but I wanted it and I'm getting it now.
It's never fun. The thing is, if it was fun, everyone would be doing it. So like, I always say this to people, like, sleep less, work harder when you're at work so you can finish earlier or you can get more done, and just work smarter. When you come home, instead of sitting having dinner and spending 2 hours having dinner watching Netflix, eat, do what you got to do, and then get on with some work. Like, it's all about, are you prepared to sacrifice a year of your life so you can have the rest of your life to do whatever you want to do? Yeah. Most people, and including a lot of people watching this, you say you're prepared to do it, but actually you're not. And a prime example, I had a phone call yesterday with somebody, okay? And this person booked a one-to-one with me, and I allowed the one-to-one with him because I wanted to help him out. And he didn't show up, right? He didn't show up for the call. And then he phoned me and said, Alistair, like, I'm ready for my call now. And I said, mate, your call was at 1:30. And he said, oh yeah, but I had a sore back. I don't give a shit, mate. I couldn't care. Right? Because that doesn't stop you picking the phone up, right? But the reality is this person will always be broke, and I do mean broke financially, because the littlest thing gets in their way. The littlest thing, so whether it be a sore back, whether it be the trains are on strike, or the buses are on strike, or I can't get there, or I've got to find a way to do it. Like, everything is going to stop you. So if you're stopped so easily, just stay in your job, because you'll never make it in business. One of the reasons why I love you so much, man, is because I know how hard you were working. I know how hard you were working, and you're like me, man. You're tired. You like me. It's like me. I'm always tired, right? But we're both making big moves and getting big places. You can join us, right? You literally can join us, but you've got to make the sacrifice. Yeah. And you're a testament to that. And I know it's been hard for you and your wife. I know it has. Yeah. But now you're starting to see the sunny road. Now you're starting to see the smooth roads. Give it a year, you'll be in a very different place. You'll have the house of your dreams. You've got a beautiful family, and it's just like the future's bright, man.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's important to have that, like, why, isn't it? Everyone goes on about the why, and it's coming to fruition now. I mean, I've got this time off, obviously, for paternity, but you're getting a taste of it, and it just makes you want it more. Like, 'cause going back is going to be hard after this. 6 months.
Absolutely.
6 months, like, but
absolutely. I get this a lot. People say, "Oh yeah," they all bang on about their why, right? But it's true. You've got to have a really strong why to why you're doing this. Like, if your why isn't strong enough, then find a reason why you want to do this, and find a deeper reason. If it's just to make money, you'll never do it. You never do it. You're doing this for freedom. You're doing this for your family. You're doing this so you can have choice. And I've done what I've done for choice, because I want to be able to, if I want to go on holiday tomorrow, I can. If I want to spend all day doing nothing today, I can. If I want to take my kid to school, I can. I'm taking my children shopping in a weekday. Like, so what? I can. Like, do you know what I mean? I can do whatever I want to do when I want to do it, because of the effort and the input I put in back then. And it's the same as you, man.
Yeah. No, definitely, yeah.
Big goals for 2023, Matt. It's going to be awesome to see. Are you coming to the event next week?
Yes.
Property sourcing.
Yeah, obviously towards the end of last year, I couldn't come to a couple of them because the baby was due and everything. But this year, every one of them looking
awesome, great stuff. All right, couple of bits, just a little bit of advice for you guys watching. What would you say? They're looking to get into service accommodation. Come on, you know how difficult it is.
Yeah.
What would you say to them if they're picking the phones up and getting rejection?
First off, make sure you're educated 1,000,000%, like, because I wouldn't have been able to do what I've done without it.
Yeah.
And learning all the mistakes that they've done, you really need to capitalise on that. And by getting the training and seeing what people have gone through, you'll get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely that. See if you can buddy up with somebody. So my cleaner's come to me recently, saying how hard is management. It sounds like, boy, I'd do it basically anyway because I couldn't clean her.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go and see her next week, and she's going to get some properties, and she's going to manage them through my business to help her get through. So stuff like that.
It's funny because somebody else said that to me recently about their cleaner.
Really?
Their cleaner sees obviously what they're making and things like that.
Yeah.
The cleaner's like coming in every day and they're getting paid. This cleaner gets paid, I think it's £22 a clean. So she comes in and she does a clean for £22.
Need to find her.
And she's like, hold on, I've seen this property on booking.com and I know it's getting like £130 a night.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're making a lot of money from this. And she's now wanting to get involved and wanting to understand what's going on. It always happens.
She's not the first one, yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. All right, look, just be relentless. Buddy up with somebody and just keep going. Learn from other people's mistakes. And that's why you need to come along to the training. You know, I run a free event called the Property Accelerator. There's a link down there. Go and get booked on. It's completely free of charge to attend. You don't have to pay anything to me to attend. And you're going to learn the 3 strategies to get you to 6 figures. Property sourcing, low money down deals, and then buy, refurbish, recycle. And they've worked so well for me. They've worked so well for many of my students. And you can learn this completely free of charge. Link is there. Get booked on. Sean, thank you for coming on board.
Thank you.
How can they connect with you if they want to connect with you?
So you can go on our website, so it's amazingspacesrelocations.com. There's a button there, you can reach it, go straight through to our email. And
doesn't go to you though, does it? Because it's systemised, it goes to your VA.
It goes to my VA, yeah.
That's systemisation.
Yeah. And then I've not been so hot on social media because I'm not that kind of person, but one of the big goals as well this year is to get all that going. So this is going to be the first post and everything like that. Yeah, so
we can help you with that. We can definitely help you with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people really struggle with social media. They struggle getting in front of a camera. Like the amount of times I interview people and you can see them physically shaking. It's funny. But anyway, look, we'll put Sean's contact details in the box below. Reach out to him. Joint ventures, opportunities. If you want him to manage your properties, he does a fantastic job. So reach out to Sean. Guys, excuse me, nearly dying now. Guys, thank you for watching today and connect with Sean and I'll see you next time.